Welcome to another video from PixLogik. In this video we're going to set up our scene, or we're going to start to, we'll see how far we get. I have moved all the assets of our play area, the level bounds area in here, so we've got a clear canvas to start building on. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to create prefabs of the star. Just go into grid here and props, there we go, retro star. Now it's blue already because it's already a prefab, but it's a prefab within the Corgi engine. I want to make it a prefab within our game, so I'm just going to drag that down. Original prefab, there we go. And we will do the ladder as well. And we'll do the moving platform. This means any changes I make will be within our game and not touching the Corgi engine. Okay, first thing I'd like to do is set up some platforms. So we'll go into our tile palette and we'll select the platform here. Well, let's start here. I'm just going to do them straight across just now. Now I need to know the height from a ladder here, so I'm going to pull up a ladder. And we'll just pop it there. So we're looking at a clearance of 4. Back on. Yeah. And straight across again. Just going to do this all the way up the top. There we go. Now we want some more ladders in here. Firstly I'm going to erase there so we see the whole ladder. Now we need to have these ladders perfectly lined up because as you see there's a collision box around it which is in the green, and it will also be on the platforms. You can see that, the green there. So these have to be perfectly lined up. If they're not, if you've got a character or an enemy or something running across here or moving across here, they're going to bump into the other collider, which will either stop them, make them jump, or just make them do something odd. So you have to make sure that this is completely smooth, run all the way across. So the way you can do that is you can snap to grid. Now to snap to grid, this has to be set to global. Okay. You can find the grid settings in your edit and grid and snap settings here. I don't imagine you have to change them. But, let's just test this. So set it to global. Click on the toggle snap to grid button. Select the ladder. Now you see it will snap halfway up the grid and at the bottom. So that should now be a straight line. But we're going to test that, so we'll drop in our level start here. We will press play. And we're going to run our character across. There we go, no glitches, he does that smooth, and you can get down the ladder. Perfect. So we're going to pop in a couple more ladders. We'll duplicate this one. We'll stick it up here. Let's just zoom in. There we go, and clear that area. Let's just stick in one more. Now of course you can move these at any point. I mean, all we're doing just now is we're just blocking in level. We'll cut things out, we'll move things about, we'll test the play, we'll see how it goes. So this is a bit of a process that goes on here. Duplicate that again. And this time we will, I'm going to stick it up here this time. Again, zoom in. There we go. Now, next thing I want to do is I'm going to move these enemies up into our levels. So these are all nicely tidied up. I'm thinking I want to actually change the size of the camera, because at the moment if I press play, you'll see that the camera doesn't take in the full screen. It will follow our player around. Now, as this is going to be turning into more of a kind of puzzle game where timing is important, I would rather the player seen the whole screen. So we'll go out and we're going to change that just now. First thing we need to do is go into the retro camera rig, CinemachineVirtualCamera, and we no longer want to follow the player because there'll be no need for that because we'll see the whole screen, so we'll tick off that. We're going to scroll out slightly and we're going to take the camera here and we're going to place it across just so we get a rough idea. Okay, I'll go back into CinemaMachine and we'll change ortho size you want to change to 17, and actually change the regular camera, and the Retro Adventure UI camera, change that to 17. Now if we press play, okay, we're getting more of it, but we're still missing the top and the bottom here. So if we go into regular camera, we've got something called Pixel Perfect down the bottom here. If we unclick crop frame and press play, there we can see the top of the screen there and the bottom. That's perfect. We'll leave it at that. Now the next thing I'd like to do is have a moving platform that's going to go straight through the play area. It's going to go all the way up to top, out and around and come back, so it's just going to loop. So the escalator is always going up the way. Now I think I'm going to move the camera out of here. Don't think that should affect it, we'll just try it. Getting a red error here, we'll have a look and we'll just clear that. Try that again. Occasionally Unity will fling up an error. Just go into your console, clear it, replay, and if it disappears, it's all good, don't worry about it. So let's start on this moving platform. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this platform. Now I worked out some sizes earlier on, so I'm going to stick with those sizes. 13.3 and 9. There we go. So we're going to clear this area up here through the platforms. I'm going to move this ladder though, it's going to get in the way. So that was, there we go, we'll just move that to about here just now. Clear the top of it. And there. Let's get our eraser. Have a clearance of at least one on either side. Now something else I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take out the top and the bottom platforms here. I want it so that if the player falls off he's going to die. There we go, and if he touches the top he dies. There we go. Now, back to our moving platform. Okay, we've got our elements here. These are our path elements. The first one's set to 0, 0. This is its starting point. So the next one, I want them to go up to, I worked this out, and it was 40, which clears the plate area. We're going to add another one, and we're going to change the x-axis to 20. And then we're going to change the y-axis to 0, and then we're going to add a last one, 0, 0. So that means our platform's going up, round, all the way back to its starting point, and we're going to have that in loop. So it's just going to keep going round, it's not going to stop. Now I'm going to change the speed here while I test this. I'll put it up to about 9. So we go to the scene. It's clearing everything. Okay. Now I'm going to add another one here. So I'm going to duplicate that one. And I want to move it up 10. So that's going to take 10 off of this. I'm just going to put it to 3.3. Now I'm using 10s because it's easier to calculate. So down here, for instance, the y path, it needs to be exactly on the path of the one below it. So we'll take 10 off of that. And the same on this one. We will now change this to -10 and element 4 to 0, -10. Now we need to add another one on here, and we'll put that to 0, 0, because this one has to go from here, up, across, down, back across, and then back up to its starting point. So you're going to have 5 elements here. I'm going to continue on and populate this whole area here with moving platforms. I'm just going to get on with that. Okay, that seems to be us, so we will just test this. Okay, and game. Yep, obviously going too fast at the moment, so we are going to change the speed. Now, I could have done this right at the beginning, and I wouldn't have to change them all, but as it is, we'll go through them all. I'm going to put this back down to 3. There we go. That's the better speed. And that looks good. Stop that there. I'm going to finish this video up here. It's getting on quite long. I will continue this in the next video. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully see you in the next one. Goodbye.